Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to my channel. Right now, I'm test driving the facelifted Honda CR-V. This one is the RS spec, but this is not the hybrid. This is a 1.5 liter turbocharged engine, which is carried over from the pre-facelift Honda Civic. So before I start the test drive, I'm going to talk about the changes that Honda has made into this Civic Turbo facelift. So basically, the interior has the RS package. Basically, the steering wheel are wrapped in leather together with red stitching. If you are getting the V spec, E spec, they will have a different color stitching. As you can see, the roof lining, special for the RS spec, is a black headliners. And there's more speakers right here, including the tweeters. And one of the most notable thing is now Honda Malaysia has integrated the Google system into the infotainment right here. So basically, you can download your app via the Play Store and you can use the in-cars Google Map system. So you don't need to rely on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Obviously, this car comes with it, which is in wireless form. And another changes is right here you can see now Honda finally has made the wireless charging as standard into the RS spec of the Honda Civic Turbo. So let me just show you this meter cluster right here. So you can customize different meter via the buttons right here. You can browse through different infos such as your FM. You can browse differently, and this is the home display. And you can browse through the range and feel, speed and time, audio, phone, navigation, driver attention, so and so forth. So there's a lot of things to be adjusted. Although this is not the full digital display you found in the Civic 2 liter EHEV, which is a hybrid variant. So without further ado, let's start our test drive. So to adjust your side mirrors, you can locate the mirror adjustment on the right side of the door panels. Okay, you can have multiple adjustment, and it has auto folding as well. Okay, and right here it has a frameless rear mirror together with the auto dim system. Okay, now let's just go. So it has the traditional gear knob, and we'll start with Economy first, which is the most fuel efficient mode, which is found in the Honda Civic Turbo. Để 你给我讲那个 test drive route 咯。Okay, since we are in reverse, let's show you the reverse camera. So the Honda Civic still doesn't come in 360 because that is reserved for the Honda CR-V. So this is the reverse camera of the Honda Civic Turbo. You can have multiple adjustment. And when you flick the signal to the left side, it will show the Honda lane watch, which is very safety when you're driving on the road. You want to watch for the motorcycle or incoming car from your left side. So we're gonna be careful because there's a large potholes right here. Right, so for the Honda Civic Turbo RS, it comes with the 18-inch rim, which I'll show you later on in the walk around video. So this is just purely the test drive video. So the sitting position of the Honda Civic Turbo, you can sit very low and you can have multiple adjustments, but it loses out on the lumbar support, which I'll appreciate if they include it in the new generation Honda Civic. But right now, the seat comfort I felt is rather okay. And the steering wheel you can adjust tilt and telescopic, which is very convenient for different size of person. And as you can see, my elbow is in this angle, which is the most ideal driving position for most people. Okay, so right here, as you can see on the steering wheel at the back, it has the pedal shift. Although this car comes with a CVT gearbox, but it can simulate 7 virtual gears. So if you want to drive more aggressively, you can put into sport mode and start to use the pedal shifters. And the brake feels are very progressive. It's not too choppy like that Proton S70 that I tested few months back. I felt this brake is very confident and very progressive. So it's a very perfect braking system for daily usage because you don't want to suddenly chop the brakes and the passenger may feel discomfort from the ride. And the signal stop feels very high quality. The overall operation of it, and it comes with automatic headlights as well as automatic wipers. Here's to set the speed of the wipers. And during idling, the engine sound is almost unnoticeable, which I want to praise Honda for designing the 1.5 liter turbo to have this kind of NVH. I don't feel very much vibration. Maybe it's due to a new car and good engine mounting, but so far as I can observe, this engine is very silent under idlings. Okay, I'm giving 20% of the throttle. The powers come progressively because this car is using a CVT. If it's a torque converter automatic, it will lurch forward. And the throttle tuning are also quite progressive. Not very overly sensitive like Toyota's throttle pedals, which I kind of buy this kind of throttle tuning. And because in the new generation Honda Civic, Honda has lowered down the dashboard. As you can see, if you compare to the Honda Civic FC, you can notice that the dashboard actually lowers down quite a lot. So it actually helps in terms of the visibility, because if you drive a Honda Civic FC, you will know that it gives you a very sports car kind of experience, and you sometimes sacrifice on the visibility from the outside. So on the new Honda Civic FE, it's one of the biggest improvement that Honda has made. And as you can see, the side mirror is mounted on the door, so this part right here, the blind spot is cleared, so you can actually judge whether there's a motorcycle there or not. Because if you're driving in Malaysia, we will know that motorcycles are always stopped on the right side around the area of the A pillars. So if the side mirror is mounted on the doors, they will create a very big blind spot. But there's one disadvantage is at the rear wheel mirror right here, because this car is designed to be a more sporty oriented sedan, so the rear windscreen is actually rather small. So the visibility from the back is rather limited. So this one you need to take note of it if you want to consider the Honda Civic FE. So this also supports voice commands. And let's just play with the screen when we are waiting for the traffic light. So there's a trip computer, you can reset everything, trip A and trip B. Okay, and you can back to home, and this is the Apple CarPlay settings. And this is your clock, FM and AM, USB, Bluetooth audio. As I mentioned, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And here's a Google Map. It just operates like your most Google Map in your phones. You can type the destinations and you can hook up your hotspot to access to the internet of this car, and also use the Play Store to download, let's say, Netflix, YouTube, so and so forth. And right here, for this Civic RS Petrol, you only get single zone climate controls, and you can push to automatic adjust. The lowest temperature is 18 degrees. The most hottest is around 32 degrees. Okay, as you can see, the button feels are also very nice. It is on par to the Audi A4 standard. If you see in the Audi A4, if you touch their button, you will know that most Audi buttons, they will have the tactile feeling, something like this. So this is one of the good touch that Honda has inspired from, including the dashboard patterns right here. Now it goes for a more minimalistic as well as a sportier approach. As you can see, there's some honeycomb design, and the aircon vents you need to control via the dials right here. Okay, compared to the modern, because Chinese vehicles usually they are all doing touchscreen, but touchscreen, there's one disadvantage is when you want to adjust something, you need to actually look at the screen. But something like Honda Civic FE, there's a lot of physical touch. You can basically just look at the road and while adjusting your air cons.
Just now, I think pause something already. I think you put aside first. See you.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright. Back to where we end just now. It's talking about Chinese car vehicle in terms of the design. So if you say in those Chinese vehicles, something like J-Cool or Cherry, you notice that their cars, right, they design all the dashboard, everything, right, mostly are finished in touchscreen. But touchscreen, there's one disadvantage is it will actually distracts the driver. For instance, if you want to adjust the aircon, something like J-Cool J7, you need to adjust using the screen. which means that your eye level need to move from the road to the screen right here, which creates a distraction for around 1 or 2 seconds. But if you retain physical buttons or physical knob, you can easily just look at the road while adjusting your aircon temperature and fan speed. So this is why most Japanese car makers still retains physical buttons in terms of the things that we are used every day. For instance, the air conditioning controls, the steering buttons, because even some Chinese car makers already made the steering wheel button in terms of in touchscreen form, which sometimes you will mispress something and it will turns out something else. And even the touchscreen right here still retains the shortcut buttons. In case you want to go back to the main menu faster, you just press home. So this is one of the things that Japanese car makers still does better than Chinese. And in terms of the drivetrain smoothness and refinements, I still think that Honda Civic FV still does the best balance between comfort and performance. So I have test drove the Toyota Corolla Altis, the latest generation. There's the 1.8 GR Sport I have tested before. The car is very smooth, very comfort, but if you need powers, right, typical Toyota vehicles, sometimes there's just a little bit insufficient in terms of power. But if you drive Hondas, if you have experienced the L15 B7, which is the 1.5 liter turbo from Honda, you will know why I'm saying that this power, right, is more than enough for your daily usage. And it comes with full Honda sensing in the Honda Civic facelift. No matter what variant you get, even if you get the base model S-Spec, you really get Honda sensing with adaptive cruise control and stop and go. So this is one of the things that I want to praise Honda, because they give the standard safety features across all of this variant, no matter the low spec or high spec you get. And this comes with lane keep assist, which means that it will follow the line if it detects. Right now, as you can see, the road in front, there's no marker, so the lane keep assist won't kick in to help you. It will help you to adjust the steering movement in case you are off the line. So now we are going to try normal mode, which is the most mode that everybody will drive daily, because not everybody will drive sport mode every day unless you are going for a Genting run. So as you can see, there's a pedal shift. You can manually upshift and downshift just by pressing it. There's the indicators right here, which I will show you later, because now we are traveling in low speed, so I can't show you. So this is the lane keep assist, which I activated just by pressing a buttons right here. And this is to set the distance from the car in front for the adaptive cruise control. So now we're not using it, we just drive like a normal person. So when you're driving smooth from the daily usage, this car doesn't have any jerks that most other gearbox have. For example, DCT gearbox, if you are in low speed, when the clutch is decoupling and coupling, you will still feel a slight jerk even from the most refined DCT that you can find. But the advantage of CVT or automatic transmission is, if you drive normally, you don't feel this gearbox exists. So it's a very smooth and very comfortable experience. So the steering wheel curves are also very suitable for my hand size, and I think ladies will find it very comfortable as well, because there's not too thick, something like a BMW M Sport steering wheel, which you struggle to find a perfect angle to grab your steering. So as you can see, if I flick the left signal, the Honda lane watch will appear. Some people may say in other countries Honda offers the blind spot monitoring system, but Malaysia they are still using the Honda lane watch. In my opinion, I think there's a good and bad in terms of the costing, as well as some people may prefer to look at the screen instead of the indicators, because the blind spot indicators are just a very small icon is mounted on the side mirror. Sometimes if you are rain heavily, you may not see it very clearly. But with the Honda lane watch camera, no matter in what kind of situation, you still can see it quite clearly. So now we are turning back. The steering wheel weight are just in my liking because they are not too weighty and too lightweight like most Chinese vehicles recently. So it actually gives enough confidence for the driver. If you want to drive fast, this definitely gives you a very good confidence because of the low sitting position, which translates to a lower center of gravity. And the footwell section are also very spacious, and you get a left foot rest. So you can rest your left foot very comfortably. And special for the RS variant, you will get the aluminium sports pedal, which increase the sportiness for the car. So park 哪里啊？park 回去看啊，
可以。
可能park前面一点。
可以。
因为他要推车怕顶到。Okay, now we are going to reverse. So just put your gear into reverse. The reverse camera will show, and it has active guidance signs according to the steering angle that you put. Although the resolution is not as clear as most Chinese vehicles recently, but it's usable in my opinion. You still can look at the lines very clearly, and you have multi-angle to see. This is to see whether you are close to the line or an object or not. And can adjust the brightness, so and so forth. So when you put into P, the doors will automatically unlock, and if you open the doors or off the car, just put on the handbrakes. So that's all of my test drive. Please stay tuned for my walk around video. Please subscribe to my channel, and special thanks to Honda Car Motor Puchong for letting me feature the Honda Civic FE 1.5 liter turbo. So see you in my next video. 3, 2, 1, cheers.